What up, Wastelanders? Christopher here at Gaslands NorCal. Thanks for joining me once again for another conversion video. Now, a few weeks back, Mike, a good buddy of mine, also one of my patrons, sent me a message and said, hey, I've got a box of really odd castings I haven't seen you do before, so I'm going to send them to you. And I was like, great, something to keep me out of trouble. Now, I got the box a couple days ago, cracked it open, ton of castings. Thanks so much, Mike. One of the ones that I pulled out was this Fast FeLion. I don't know if that's like Mattel's way of saying Hellion and Felon, or I don't know. Anyway, that's what we're going to do this time. It's a very flat casting. It looks to be partially metal, so that's pretty cool. I like working with all metal, well, mostly metal castings. But with the flat bottom, that kind of lends itself to jacking it up pretty easy. It's got a really flat hood and everything, so thinking decals, all sorts of weapons, who knows where it's going to go. Should have a lot of fun with this one, but first things first, we got to do, we got to get this baby apart, get her into the stripper. Alright, so I'm all primed up with the SMS Surfacer Gray. This brand, outstanding. If you have the ventilation and the means and everything else, definitely give it a shot, or a squirt, or whatever you want to call it. So good. Absolutely love it. Yeah, anyway. So I was trying to figure out how I want to do a paint job on this one, and I've got just a ton of different colors of paints, and I'm thinking of what I've done, what I haven't done, what I might like to do, and it kind of struck me that I've done all sorts of U.S. ones, Australian, I've done Scotland even, but I haven't done Canada. You always forget about Canada, so I'm going to do a Canadian-based-ish build for this one. I'm going to do some white on here. The middle portion is going to be red. The back will probably be white. And I'm thinking of doing a custom decal with the big old leaf, red leaf, to stick on the front. I think that's going to be a perfect spot for it. And yeah, we'll do a Canadian build. Probably jack it up, like I said, because it's all flat. It'll be perfect for it. Stick some guns on the side or something, maybe some big old gun or some missiles on the top, and make this thing badass, because even the Canadians got to have a wasteland, right? So let's get her done. Alright, so we're all painted up and everything, looking very cool, loving how even the splatter effect coming a little bit over, just looks outstanding. I don't want it pristine, I want it, more wastelands, everything else. The decals that I printed off, I got several different options I printed off just because I wasn't sure exactly what was going to fit, which one I would like. So I've got some options. I might even put one on the back and one on the front. We'll see how it goes. For wheels and weapons and whatnot, I love these jacked up rams. These ones I got from We Play Games on Etsy. The wheels, got the skulls going on there. I'm going to have the bigger ones in the back, obviously, smaller ones in the front. Just get it very, very wastelands and ready for combat. Got some drop weapons going on, a turreted weapon that's going to be sticking on the top, and a ram that's going to probably fit pretty well in the front. We'll see how it goes. So first off, before I do the decals, I'm going to go through, agrax the whole thing, get some of the dark recesses and stuff so they stand out, get everything all put together, primed up in black. We'll do some dry brushing in silver, and then we'll start looking at how we want to get this baby together. So let's agrax. Alright, so everything's all painted up and agraxed and everything, looking very cool. Loving how the color transition from the red to the white and everything looks just awesome. The casting's awesome too. Let's give it to the casting. I mean, fabulous. So next what we're going to do is we're going to go through and I'm going to get the decals on, and then we're going to do some chipping. Once the chipping stuff's all done, we're going to get everything together, get it mounted, then start looking to see how much rust work we want to do. So let's start off with the decals, and then we'll chip away. Alright, chipping's all done and everything, looking very cool. If you can get the right timing on these water slide decals to where they're almost dry but not quite, and hit them a little bit with a Q-tip, you can get a kind of a chipping eroded effect. I found this out because I was using my Mark Fit Strong for my decals, put it on there, waiting for it to dry. Wasn't quite sure if it was dry yet, so I just kind of touched it and it kind of chipped, and I'm like, that's cool. Alright, I can do that. But like I said, who knows what the timing is? I'm not going to try to figure it out. So we've got everything all painted up and ready to go. Going to start getting it all assembled. I kind of changed up the weapons I was going to use, because just using like a turreted machine gun, it seemed kind of puny. So I thought, you know what the hell, I'll go with a rocket launcher. The thing is, with rocket launchers in Gaslands, they're going to take up 2 of your build slots, so you can't really add a whole lot to it. I do always like to add a ram, because who hasn't been in a fender bender? They call it bender for a reason. You know, whether you're actually going to use it as a weapon or not, stick one on there, looks cool. You know, the life you save may be your own. Where'd that come from? Got some spikes I'm going to stick on the sides to make everything looking all cool. For rusting, I'm just going to do a little bit around the bottom, because I figured it's Canada, it snows and salt and all that stuff, so that's what we're going to do on that. So it's not going to be too rusty. So let's start getting everything together, and then we'll move on to the rest portion of our game and go from there. So let's get it. Alright, so we are all chipped up and ready to go, all back together. I like the spikes that I got going on, like on the sides and the wheel well. Just want to do something a little bit different than armor and everything, so decided to go with the spikes. I mean, everything else around this whole thing is pokey, from the ram to the wheels and whatnot. Rocket launcher's on there, ready to fire away. Got some tanks on the back, whether you want to run it with nitro or napalm. You know, fill it with whatever you like, whatever pleases you, whatever suits you. So next we're going to go through and do a little bit of rusting, like I said. Going to do around like the edges of the bottom, a little bit around the wheel well and stuff. I want to keep most of the coloring going on, because I'm really loving that red and white for Canada. Looking great, so let's get some rust on there, and then we'll see how much longer we got for the glamour shots. Let's get rusty. Alright, so we're all dusted up, ready for the Wastelands. This is where I would normally stop. Go through, dust everything up, take some glamour shots, everything is rusted, got the panel liner and stuff going on. It looks outstanding. This is table ready, you know, ready for the Wastelands, ready to go, ready for combat. But, being that it's from Canada, I want to do a little bit more weathering. Now when I say weathering, I mean weather. Not like rust and everything else. I want to make it more so like it's coming from Canada. Bob and Doug are proud of us. You know, dig off you hosers, all that stuff. So I'm going to try something I've only done once on a test tire. Test tire? Test tire. Test tire. I'm going to be using these AK Ice Sparkles and see if I can get some snow effects. Like you're driving down the road and ice and everything kind of builds up and crevices and stuff, gets in the areas of your tire and everything. And so we'll see if we can make that happen. To do that, I'm going to be using just some regular super glue gel, putting it down in a couple of rust spots, sprinkling the ice sparkles on there and letting it dry. Maybe hit it with some of the activator to make it dry quicker and everything else, just to see if I can get more of that, you know, Great White North feel about it, since this rig, this vehicle is coming from Canada. So that's what we're going to do. Hopefully we're not going to screw it up, so let's get frosty. Alright, and there we have it. One Hot Wheels Fast FeLion, wasn't FeLion or whatever it was I said in the beginning. FeLion, totally transformed, repainted, reimagined, reborn for the Wastelands, coming specifically from the Wastelands of the Great White North up in Canada. Love how the decals turned out. The casting is just awesome. I like what I did with the snow effect and everything. You know, for a first effort, it doesn't look too bad. It can give me more ideas on how I can do more snow effects and everything else, whether I'm doing Gaslands, bolt action, whatever. That stuff, the ice sparkles from AK, they're very, very versatile. They can do a lot of things. Had a lot of fun with this casting. A relatively basic build overall, but turned out very cool. I'm really, really liking it. If you enjoyed the video, if you learned something, do me a favor, hit that like button. My goal is to do weekly videos, whether they're vehicle builds, terrain builds, battle reports, whatever. So if that's for you, hit the sub button below and ring the bell to get notified when new content drops. I do sell all my builds pretty inexpensively on my Etsy page. If you want to pick something up, see what else I've done, you can even request a custom build. If you'd really like to show some love, head on over to my Patreon page and get signed up. Every little bit helps keep the paint flowing, the printer printing, and the camera rolling. Until next time, keep your foot on the gas and your finger on the trigger. Gaslands NorCal, signing out.
Take off, eh? It's a beauty way to go. Gaslands NorCal. Upgrade your apocalypse.